Welcome to the Speakers Practice and our Friday Forum. Hi, I'm Adrienne McLean, the founder of the Speakers Practice. The Friday Forum is for business people. I interview business professionals on all sorts of topics. The aim is that this forum is to discuss ideas and practical ways that you can use to promote your business, as well as hear real-life examples of a wide variety of business tools. With the marketing system I follow, Book Yourself Solid, our Friday Forum is an always have something free to offer event. So potential clients can come and get to know us. This is our second year now, and I'm thrilled to be getting back into the swing. We have specialists in their field speaking on a wide variety of topics to help business professionals. We're thrilled to have Shawn Powrie from eWeb Marketing with us today to detail how to establish your business profile with video. Hi, Shawn.
Hi, Adrian. Good to be with you.
Oh, thanks for being with us. As a digital marketing specialist, Shawn works to increase the user-friendliness and overall quality and relevance of clients' websites so that they can be more appealing to search engines and users alike, thus leading them to perform better in Google and convert more. Shawn works to make websites add more value to the world. Shawn is a digital marketing specialist from eWeb Marketing who specialises in the area of organic SEO and online growth. Shawn has consulted with many brands about their SEO strategy, including Linkcraft, QVB, Insurance, Converse, Meriton Apartments, Sennheiser, Macquarie University, and Orion Expedition Cruises. When Shawn isn't consulting about SEO, he's reading about digital and building his YouTube channel. Well, Shawn, you must be a busy fellow.
Yes, I try to keep my life filled with constructive things.
Oh, fantastic. Well, video is a growing area and it's growing exponentially. It's going to be great to understand about how YouTube establishes your profile for a business. So let's get started.
Sure, yeah. Well, you're absolutely right. YouTube has, I think, over 1 billion people on it actively, and it's the #1 video platform in the world. So I do spend quite a bit of time researching. I'm building my own YouTube channel, and also we do a little bit of work for our clients. As you mentioned, I specialize in SEO, so we try to tie that up together as much as possible. So it's an exciting area.
Oh, yes, fantastic. Okay, well, the first question for today is, what is the first step for preparing video for YouTube?
Yeah. Okay, this is really good. So let's pull a little bit of context into the discussion for people who are watching this Hangout or watching the YouTube video. It's likely that you're trying to build your profile as a business professional. Either you're the owner or just another professional in someone else's business who wants to build that profile. And it's important to have good goals in mind. And that's where the phrase content strategy comes into play. So it's beginning with the end in mind and understanding in the long term, what am I trying to get out of my YouTube channel and my interaction with people, and how am I going to define success? So I'll speak briefly about content strategy on YouTube. So as a business professional, there are other people out there in your niche on YouTube who are constantly putting out content. They are creating videos or funny infographics or different types of content online to engage their audience and to establish themselves as thought leaders. And so in a sense, it's our role as business professionals, if we want to establish ourselves through video, we have to first start with looking at our competitors and what they are doing, or understanding the video content landscape of your niche. Basically, that's a fancy way of saying go and watch a whole bunch of YouTube videos and enjoy the journey. If you are, for example, Adrian, your area is a very good one. It's very relevant that you have your own YouTube channel, because you're speaking about how business professionals use speaking to establish themselves. So
Yes.
this particular hangout and this video is very, very relevant to your area. And one of the steps I'm sure you've done and other people in your area and so on would do is going to look at the competitors and understanding what types of content they're putting out. And that is a great way to generate ideas and to find a way to distinguish yourself. So we'll go on to that in the next slide, but I want to just initially point out that there's no point, copying other people or their exact approach because they did it first. And search engines like Google or YouTube who understand that, they always give value to the person who kind of did it first. So either we have to do it better than the way other people did, or we have to distinguish ourselves in some other way. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Well, then we'll go on to the second question, which is, with YouTube, what is available to make a business distinctive?
Yeah. This is a very, very relevant question. So the world is flooded with content. The world is flooded with information. And in order for you to establish yourself as a personality or as your profile online, there needs to be some strategy around how to make your site unique. And I really like, Adrian, as you introduced me, you mentioned, I think you picked it off my LinkedIn profile, where I said I help websites to add value to the world. If you remember that sentence.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. And this is kind of one of my personal slogans. I'm really pleased that you picked that up and introduced that, because this is where we come to making ourselves distinguished from others, is we have to add value to our audience in a unique way. We have to give them something that they can't find somewhere else, or give it to them in a format that is more attractive than somewhere else, or some other way to distinguish yourself. So a little bit about branding your channel. I'll speak about that for a second. So one of the things, going back to this making yourself a distinguished approach, is thinking about how you want to position your personal brand and your voice. So generally there are there are many ways you can talk about branding, but one particular model that I found very helpful is to start off with two different poles, in a sense, the thoughtful end and the playful end. So a lot of companies have chosen to position their brand as either a bit more thoughtful, a bit more solemn, and on the other end a bit more playful. And your approach to your YouTube channel, it's good to pick which side you want to be on and for which reasons. So companies like YouTube themselves or Google are generally on the playful side. Whereas if you have a company like Mercedes-Benz, or a lot of car companies fit into this category, or luxury brands, they are on the more thoughtful side. So picking where your voice fits in can help to distinguish yourself from your competitors. Perhaps someone is making videos in your niche that are very thoughtful and serious, and you feel that this is not the right approach. You feel like, given your niche, maybe you're talking about mobile phones or you're talking about something else, it could be better done as a playful brand. So this is an example of distinguishing your content. And then another important thing to consider is your branding in terms of design. So finding a scalable way to create videos. For example, Adrian, you have, I'm going to use yours as an example because it's very good. You have this Friday forum, and your Friday forum is a scalable approach to creating a bunch of great videos on different topics. So your design is this page we see in front of us that says the speaker's practice, your website, fortnightly Friday forum. This is what I mean by creating a template that's scalable for your content. So finding a way to to distinguish yourself and to create some kind of template that is followable in the future. That's a very important part. And then finally, the templates on your website are also important. So YouTube does allow a certain leeway in terms of personal branding. So your YouTube channel can have an image, basically your profile picture, and a background image. So I actually engaged with one of my friends who studies design, and he's keen for personal projects, and he helped me to build my. I'll speak about it in a bit, but I have a Chinese teaching channel, And on this channel, he helped me to design the personal branding. And as soon as we launched that, we found the engagement and the number of subscribers started to increase more.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. So basically, it's not just about the content. There's also a role of design and visual appeal in the way that you present your channel.
Great. Okay. So next question is, what are your recommendations for creating video? Because of course that's what it's all about with YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the first consideration is, what is the nature of your video? For example, this video that you and I are on right now is a screencast. So we've decided that we prefer having slides in front of us that can guide the discussion, and slides help education, especially in educational niches. Slides are good because you are engaging another sense. That's the visual sense. So the first thing to consider is, what's the format of your video? Are you going to do a kind of screencast, or are you going to do more of a webcam approach, where it's you speaking to the webcam, or some kind of mixture? And some people who have massive YouTube channels, for example, there are people who do gaming online. They will have screencasts of them playing and then a camera on their face as well, so that they'll do a combination of the two. So the first thing is, what's your format, and then finding equipment for that. So one major important element is your microphone. I have a personal friend who has built a really good YouTube channel, and in the initial stages that he was building it, he sent messages to other areas for other people for feedback, and the universal feedback was your microphone quality is too low.
Okay, yes.
So if there's a scenario where you want to have YouTube videos or Hangouts, the quality of the microphone is paramount to your success. That's definitely a starting point. And then if you're creating video, I'd suggest getting a high quality webcam. I wouldn't suggest establishing a professional YouTube profile using a smartphone's equipment. So smartphones, you can do a selfie kind of video, or you can use your back camera, but it's too shaky. It's not really that professional. So I like that you have a picture here of a professional camera equipment focusing on two individuals, because if you're creating a professional channel, it's important to get the right equipment, and it doesn't have to be overly expensive. For example, I do screencasts on my channel because it's an educational channel, and I find that a lot easier. And I have a microphone that I picked up from my office, and somebody had left a microphone lying around when I first started here. And so I asked them, hey, can I use this microphone? They said, sure, and there you go. So my YouTube channel was actually free.
Oh, fantastic.
So it doesn't have to be very expensive in terms of money to set yourself up. All you need is a good microphone, and if you're doing video face-to-face, kind of webcam video, then just a good webcam.
So with these videos, when you actually upload them onto YouTube, how do you do the search engine optimization for them? Great
question. So this is a very important question, and this is especially where I specialize as an individual, because my area of expertise is SEO. So what I want to show is YouTube has several locations where you can optimize it for the engines. The first thing I want to mention is that YouTube is clever enough, and Google is clever enough with their voice recognition, that they can actually crawl the words in your video. What that means is Google will listen to your video themselves using their software, and they will extract, they can actually create subtitles themselves. So, for example, if you watch one of your old speakers practice videos, there will be a subtitles/CC button on the bottom right-hand side. And if you click that, you can see the result of these algorithms. You can see it actually outputting text based on what you said. So the first important part of YouTube SEO is actually keeping your videos on topic and discussing your topic very well. Because Google will analyze I use them interchangeably because Google owns YouTube. YouTube will analyze the actual words that you've said and identify whether or not they are relevant. So that's the first point, is just make sure that the videos are good and that you speak clearly so they can read that. Then the second is the title of your video. So each video will have a title that appears on the front, and when you search, the title is what you see at the top. And it's important to understand that people will often come across your video with little or no context behind it. So the titles need to be optimized almost as if someone had just landed on your porch and they have no idea about you, they know nothing about you. How would you approach them? How would you express what your video is about to them? Does that make sense?
Yes. And this goes in the description?
Yeah, so this is the title, which is above the video, and the description is just it's kind of like a longer version of the title. It's basically an explanation about what the video is about and which topics the video covers.
Right.
So, for example, this video that we're making right now will be on YouTube in the future, and a good description would be, this is a discussion of Friday Forum with Shawn Powrie, and it speaks about establishing your profile as a YouTuber or establishing your business profile through YouTube. And then you can cover, you know, these slides have, for example, 1, 2, 3, what are your recommendations for creating video? You could actually have those major points in the description.
Okay.
So that YouTube can go and crawl them and understand which topics you addressed. Because what if someone is searching for how to SEO a video? And let's say we've addressed this in a very high quality way. YouTube may actually rank this video for that because it understands the content.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, thank you. I will be finding the questions and putting those in the descriptions for sure.
Sure, yeah. And then the final point I wanted to speak about creating video is frequency. So I mentioned in the beginning of our Hangout that the world is flooded with online content. There is just so much out there. So an important consideration is, how frequently should I upload videos to engage my audience? And my answer is, as often as you have something substantial to say. So what's more important than any particular frequency is that the content of your videos is substantial, that you have something important or relevant to say to your audience. So that could be daily. Some people upload videos daily because they are doing news flashes. And so they're saying, hey, you know, today in Google this has happened. And so those are relevant for daily. But for example, for your speakers practice, you have weekly videos. And that's very relevant because you can interview someone at a weekly frequency. So the answer to this question is, there is no set frequency that is optimal. It really depends on how much content of substance you can present to your audience. For my channel, my type of resource is quite different. I'm building evergreen content that is not necessarily time sensitive. So I try to get 10 videos done a week, which I succeed in. I do 10 videos every week. But I don't expect everyone to watch all of them, because they are actually more like resources that people can find when they want them, if that makes sense.
Yeah, fantastic. Now, I did have one question about transcripts, because somebody said to told me that if you put your transcript on your video, then it will help your search engine optimization.
Yes. So, yeah, sorry, keep going.
The thing is that the transcript function isn't all that easy to find, and I was just wondering if YouTube isn't really needing that now they've got the software to connect with the voice and understand what's being said.
Yeah. So YouTube, as I mentioned, it does have very good voice recognition algorithms, but they're not perfect. If you do really care about having it really, really high quality, then I would suggest go with that option. Create your own transcripts and make sure that they're written out accurately, and then you upload them. However, I personally have never really taken that approach, just because that is another element if you really want to push it, and I agree that SEO is about getting as many elements right as possible. However, I find that Google's understanding, especially since a lot of my videos are Chinese and they have some Chinese in them, that it's hard for Google to understand them anyway. So in my case, it's not as applicable. But yes, if you're creating purely English videos and you want YouTube to better understand them, yeah, I'd suggest going that way.
Okay, all right. Well, let's get on to the next question, which is, how do we know our videos are promoting our business?
Yeah, fantastic question. So there are a lot of videos out there online that don't get many views at all. Just like celebrities get the most attention in the offline world, so it is with YouTube. There are certain people who just get a lot of attention, but most of the people out there don't get much. And so it's important to define what success means for you. So if you want to define success, there are different ways you can approach it. For me, success, for example, on my Chinese channel, is I establish myself as a teacher that can teach Chinese at a very good level, and I have people engage with my channel and see offline relationships as a result of that, and I also make money through it as well. So for a small business that's with someone trying to establish themselves through speaking, it may not be that you get 1,000 views or 10,000 views. Your success metric may be that someone important to you watched your video and spoke with you. You developed an offline relationship as a result.
Right.
So this is kind of where social media is wonderful, because it's not just an online thing, but it can result in real great offline relationships. Right. And so what happened, I'll give you an example. For my YouTube channel, I'm not going to pretend that I'm the most established Chinese teaching channel on YouTube. There are other people much bigger than me. But I created a video a while ago that was explaining how to say yes and no in Chinese with a really, really good explanation. And what happened is another company contacted me, and they said, "Hey, Shawn, we've seen this video of yours about yes and no. We really like it. Would you like to teach Chinese on our platform?" They have their own website and their own platform that's focused on education. So as a result of that, I built an offline relationship, and I had a business opportunity, which did actually pay through in the end, because I built them a beginner's Chinese course, and they paid me for it.
Oh, fantastic! Wow.
Yeah. So I didn't have I have about 50 videos right now, still building more. I'm planning on having many, many more. But even with such a low number, I've seen fruit as a result of having it, because there are people around the world looking for things constantly, and you are putting yourself in front of them.
Oh,
did that answer the question well?
Yes, it did. Does YouTube have its own analytics site, or is it better to go onto Google Analytics?
Good question. So in YouTube, there is something called the Creator Studio. If you have a YouTube account, you'll be able to go there, and the moment you land, it has a dashboard. And this dashboard will have some analytics there. It'll show you how many views you've had, how many estimated minutes watched. So basically, in the last month, it'll say how many minutes have people been on your YouTube videos. And then it'll tell you how many subscribers you've gained. And if you monetize your channel, which I can explain in a second, then it'll also show you how much money you've earned. So there are, and then there are other places where it shows you comments and so on. So there are quite a few analytical, tools out there that YouTube offers, and they're very helpful to define success.
Right. Oh, I'll have a look. Okay. Well, thank you. Our fifth question is always the same. As a business owner, what is your advice about promoting a business by speaking?
So this is a great, great question. So the world generally will judge a person by their ability to present and to speak. So if, for example, if there's a salesman and he's trying to sell something, it's critical that he can speak fluently and that the narrative that he presents is coherent. So this is a universal principle. Now I'm trying to tie this back to YouTube, because that's the theme of this video today.
Yes.
And the advantage of YouTube in speaking is a couple of things. Firstly, if you mess up, or if something goes wrong, like the technology fails you, That doesn't actually impact your YouTube video at all. You can edit and you can present it as you will. So that gives you a certain advantage, an editorial advantage to your speaking that natural public speaking niches or opportunities will not give you. In other words, it's a bit more forgiving than natural opportunities.
Yeah.
And secondly, it's more scalable. So we know that it's important to speak to establish ourselves. But if you create one video that has you presenting something very insightful to your niche, then thousands of people could watch that at different points in time, and you don't have to have them gather into one particular physical location. So the scalability of YouTube is really where its power lies. You can create an insightful video and have many, many people watch it over a long period of time, and it continues to establish yourself as a business leader, as a thought leader. And so my advice is, I definitely suggest anyone who wants to go on YouTube to learn to speak should try that, should start by creating an account and trying that. And then those practices, when you speak on YouTube more, you actually, if you're struggling with speaking yourself, like if you're shy or struggle to do public speaking, doing it on YouTube first can help you to practice so that when you get real life opportunities, you feel more comfortable.
Oh, thank you. That's wonderful advice. Okay, so now, Shawn, would you like to introduce what you do and your YouTube channel?
Sure. Well, I guess everybody loves talking about themselves, hey? So I have two primary avenues that I use YouTube for to establish myself as a professional and as a thought leader. The first is the one that you have on this picture here. So this is a picture of me in front of a whiteboard presenting about search engine optimization. My company will have certain mentoring groups and bring people into the office, and we will offer them basically this mentoring program as well as internal trainings. And so what we do is we record them on video. And so I will prepare a presentation and present it to an audience and get their feedback, their interaction, and so on. And then in order to promote that further, I'll upload it to YouTube, and it'll get additional views there. I'll upload it to my blog. It'll get more views there. So that I've already created that video. I've already created that presentation. It took almost no extra effort to upload that to YouTube. But the return is great because other people in my niche can watch the video and get those insights and get to know me as well.
Yes.
So that's the first avenue, and that's very, very similar to how business owners or small business people who are trying to establish a business, they would probably take a similar approach. Videos of them presenting, showing insights, but there are so many other different ways. And so that's the first one, and I could actually call that the smaller one. I don't do that as much as I do my Chinese channel. So that's the second one. I've been learning Chinese for about 6 years now. And it's always been a personal hobby. I've never gone and formally studied Chinese in an institution with accreditation. And I have a dream that I can learn Chinese and teach it without necessarily having an accreditation and have real conversations with real Chinese people. Yeah. And so YouTube helps me to achieve that dream because now about a year ago I started to build my YouTube channel, and I was really just doing it as a pilot, as an experiment. Now I'm really building it more solidly. But the way that I've actually built kind of resources for Chinese learners, more like an interactive dictionary. So people can go to my channel and they're like, I want to understand how to use this word better. And they can find a video on that word individually, and they can watch it and understand that word better. So that's kind of how I've just as well as distinguished my YouTube channel from the other channels, because I noticed that a lot of other channels, they teach Chinese, they have lessons, but they don't have good resources that are for the more proactive learner who's looking for something actively. And so I've tried to distinguish my offering in that way. And so I also monetize my YouTube channel. It's not making a lot of money right now, but it's just in the beginning stages, and the amount that it's returning is promising for the future.
Shawn, can you go into a bit of detail about how you're monetizing the video?
Sure. So basically Google has what's called the AdSense network. So if you take your Google account and you join this network, basically you can monetize your website or YouTube channel. So the first step is that you have to link your YouTube channel to your AdSense account in order to monetize videos. Once you've linked that, it's actually very, very easy. You just, in the Creator Studio, you go over to Video Manager, and all of the videos next to them will have a little dollar sign. And either it's grayed out or it's green. If it's green, that means you've chosen to monetize that video, and if it's gray, it means you haven't chosen to monetize that video.
But what does it mean once? What do the viewers see if it's monetized?
Right. So what they see is when they land on the page, depending on the length of the video, they may see a video ad. You know when you go to YouTube and you want to watch a video and you see that yellow bar at the bottom, and you have to first watch the ad.
Yes.
That's what you'll see. So every time those video ads appear, you get paid a certain amount. And every time someone clicks on those and clicks through to an external website of the advertiser, you will get paid a certain amount.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So when they only take 3 seconds or something, those ads, but that's what you know. When I've clicked on videos, there's been this 3-second ad. If you skip the ad, does it matter?
I'm not entirely clear on this question actually, because I've researched it myself, but I know that if they display a certain amount of the video, you will get paid. So I'm not sure if that's for free or not, but you will get it if they get past a certain threshold in that video.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And sorry, just to be exhaustive, there are also 2 other types of ads. When you are watching a video, have you ever noticed a little pop-up at the bottom? Yeah, at the bottom of the actual the video you're watching, it'll have a little text ad.
Yes.
That's another form, and if you can monetize videos in multiple forms. So you can have multiple types of monetization, and you get more money if you have more, obviously. I'd caution anyone building a YouTube channel to think through carefully how they monetize, because ads can be annoying for users, especially if they see them too much, and it's important to understand what your audience wants and needs. And if I were a small business owner trying to promote my profile, trying to promote my business, I wouldn't monetize at all through YouTube. Because my definition of success is I'm trying to build relationships with business contacts. And so that is your success metric, not the money you make through YouTube. So it really depends on your approach. I'd only advise monetization if you're planning on getting a high volume of traffic and views to your videos, and you have no other way to monetize your channel.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks so much, Shawn. It's really been interesting to see the world of YouTube and how business owners can actually use video to promote themselves. It's really been enlightening, so thank you.
You're welcome. It was good to speak with you.
Okay. Well, that concludes our Friday Forum, and we look forward to seeing you back here on the 6th of March. Thanks for attending. Bye.
Bye.